A 9 Days Town from the Outlook, April 8, 1905, by Anonymous. This is recorded to celebrate the 9th anniversary of LibriVox. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. A 9 Days Town. The administration of the public offices and the public affairs of any community is what the active interest of that community compels, no better and no worse. Every criticism that attacks the morals of any administration should be the mirror in which the citizen sees his own civic character, the record of his effort at government, his share in the community progress. Every office has its burden of inheritance, is cumbered by the driftwood of political campaigns. Men who would not be kept a month in a good business office must be kept by the public official. He must bear the lesser evil to secure the higher good, although he knows that the lesser evil is a limitation to his official success. The late Colonel Waring was once asked what was the greatest official burden he had to bear. His reply was prompt and energetic. The philanthropists who want me to give jobs to the men no one else will have. To adopt high standards of achievement and low standards for the material with which to accomplish that end means failure, and the responsibility should rest where it belongs, on the people whose sympathies blind their judgment and their moral sense. The ill-judged sympathy of good people has caused almost as much evil in public office as political corruption. Lack of money, which means lack of workers and facilities, is often a cause of failure, and such a failure calls out the wrath of the citizen, who will work hours in a critical spirit to ferret out the failures of public officials where he would not work minutes in a constructive spirit to secure the very results which he demands. This is the spirit that dulls the hearing of the official who is striving for the best in his power. Criticism that ends in itself is valueless, so far as public affairs are concerned. A man stands on a public platform and declares that hundreds of children are working in certain factories in defiance of the law. He moves men to anger and women to tears. He is as clearly reprehensible as the employer and the official whom the law may reach if the information he has is of the kind that is good only for platform uses. The statement is made that a public building intended for the use of the people is closed on Sunday, and limited, even on weekdays, in the use the people may have of it. A thrill of indignation goes through the audience, and it passes out, voicing its indignation against the man who issued that order. This official stands at the head of a complicated department, permeated through and through with the belief that its first duty is to supply work to a given number of political followers, its second, to meet certain needs in the community. The official himself was placed at the head of this department, with nothing to justify his appointment, by the demand of a certain class he was supposed to represent. All his life he has had to think in weeks' wages. He suddenly finds himself forced to think in thousands of dollars and to plan the work for thousands in a field of which he is wholly ignorant. Fully conscious of his unfitness, driven hither and yon in the belief that he can hold his office only by catering to those who pay their political debts through him, he fails, afraid to stand by his own judgment because he is suddenly in possession of a city where he has only known a backyard. When the injustice to the people in limiting the use of that building is pointed out, this official is appalled. He changes his order at once, and complies with public sentiment. He had been the victim of a district leader who wished to curry favor with some voters by reducing the hours of labor of 8 people. Think of it, 8 against thousands. The earnest people who knew of that injustice and made it merely a subject of verbal criticism failed as truly in their duty to the people as the politician who was the successful petitioner for that injustice. A man known for his shrewdness and success as a ward politician recently said of New York that it was a 9 days town, meaning by that you could depend on its public interest and indignation in any one line on any one subject lasting only 9 days. The groups of people who will hold fast in any one line of community betterment until each purpose is accomplished are very small. It is on this that the politician counts. To study human nature is his profession. His success depends on knowing how much the public will endure, as well as how long it will be active. If the politician knew that every man struggling for a better community life felt himself accessory after the fact, if he allowed any evil to develop in the community unchallenged, the politician would see the end of his system, and, according to the light within him, would choose a new method or a new means of livelihood. End of A 9 Days Town from the Outlook, April 8, 1905. By Anonymous. Read by Anusha Iyer, Mumbai.